All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Science of Golf Performance show. My name is Bobby. To my right is...
I'm Alex.
To my left is...
I'm Tyler.
All right. Today, we're going to talk about the top TRX exercises you can do probably at home right now, right? To improve your performance out on the golf course, help you swing faster, play better, and hurt less. So I'm going to pass it to these guys since y'all are the ones working with most of our online clients right now, right? I'm sure you have plenty of people who have a TRX or some other type of suspension strap, something like that, right? It doesn't just have to be a TRX. Plenty of options out there. But what are some of the exercises that you guys like to use with people that say, hey, I've got a TRX, I would love to use this, what can I do?
Yeah, so I think it's a good supplement to any exercise routine, be used in very different ways. I like to use it for, as we're talking about upper body strength, power, little core stabilization, the rotational row. Mm-hmm. So working a little single arm work, we can't get a lot of load except for our body weight with the TRX. Yep. So by using unilateral movements, we can tend to make it a little more challenging in that aspect. So if you hold like a light weight or not even any weight in one hand, you have the TRX in one, you extend, kind of rotate, but keep my core tight and stabilized, bring it back up, and then I row. So you're working a little bit of unilateral upper body work, a little core stabilization. I like it. I like that one.
Yeah. And hey, Alex, don't we have a video of that on another playlist on our YouTube channel?
I think we do.
Awesome. So yeah, actually, with a little bit of extra time on our hands, we've been working on updating those YouTube videos. So there's actually a whole nother playlist. We have like 300 exercises up there, right? So if you're interested in anything that we talk about, I bet you it's up there.
What does your spreadsheet say? How far are we updated right now? What percent are we at?
Well, probably by the time this video happens, it'll be like 50%. Let's go with that.
Yikes.
Tyler, what is one of your favorite TRX exercises?
One of my favorite TRX exercises is a push-up progression. So if you think about TRX, if Alex talked about pulling, so that's when you're facing up towards the anchor, but obviously a push-up, you're facing away from the anchor. However, you can progress it. So think about how upright you are at the beginning of a push-up, and as you work your way down, you can progress that movement to increase the intensity. And as well as thinking about having the strap suspended, you can think about the instability component. So you're also working some core strength in there as well. And that's a really good way to, as I talked about, you can start week one at a very upright vertical angle. And each week, not only challenge yourself, but watch your strength and progression move along through that pressing progression.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, so we talked about some good upper body exercises, right? I want to throw out one of my favorite lower body exercises, right? Now, I would throw a little caveat in here. So as a physical therapist, right, I don't want anybody's knees to start barking at them, don't want anyone's back to start barking at them, right? So I'm going to say I love the Trx Squat Jumps, right? So it's a great way, right? If you're only jumping, 10 inches off the ground, we want to improve that to help increase our swing speed, right? But what we can do is we can use those TRX straps to maybe give us a little bit of boost, right? We can even get maybe like 15 inches or so, right, Alex?
Yeah, you can get 15.
Okay. And then we can land nice and soft. So that TRX, those straps using some upper body support can also help us land a little bit softer. I know, Tyler, in another episode, right, where we talked about at-home exercises, right? You were mentioning, hey, lower body power, let's work on jumping. Mm-hmm. Let's work on landing, right? TRX is a great way to do that because it adds a little bit of assistance to that movement. So you can not only get a little bit more powerful, but also land a little bit better. But any other lower body or exercises that you guys like?
Yeah, I think going back to like the unilateral aspect and the strength aspect, we can do some like single leg squats, and it makes it, helps people out with having that TRX there to kind of keep them upright. And
need that.
Yeah, so like pistol squats, single leg squats, even if you're going down with one and then come up with two, it really helps and can really load that single side for you up pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd probably say an exercise that I like to prescribe, maybe not complete myself, would be, once again, if you flip it around and you put your feet into the straps and you do a Trx Hamstring Curl. So just as you would with your normal stability ball or your physio ball at home, you put your feet on top of the ball and you curl the ball in. Just you do the exact same with the TRX. So you put your feet inside the straps, you bridge your hips up off the ground, and you'd flex your legs as you curl the straps in towards your hips. It's like I said, I like to prescribe it. Not always am a fan of completing it myself because it's challenging and it's tricky. But just like I talked about with the push-up, you can also progress it depending on how much what height you actually have the handles at relative to where the anchor point is at.
For sure. So There's also a whole bunch of, I would say, like upper back exercises we can do. So you talked about the row. We can do some Ys. There's a ton of core exercises, right? Any one you want to touch on specifically, either of y'all?
Yeah, I was gonna say people love their core work, and when you have a TRX, there's actually a lot of options that you can do. I think one really good one, you can do a plank on a TRX, kind of like the same thing you were talking about with the push-up, but it just makes it a little more unstable, obviously. And then for like conditioning purposes, maybe, or even some more core, you can do the plank on the ground with your feet in the TRX. Maybe just throw some mountain climber like things in there, just get really crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, those are tough. Those are challenging.
Yeah, I'd also say a core exercise that I like to do in the TRX and I like to prescribe on the TRX would be working on your anti-extension. So you're doing a rollout. I know we do them a lot here in-house with the sliders on the turf. However, a lot of people do them with a barbell. You can also do them on a TRX. So once again, setting up like you would a push-up or like you would a plank, but then keep your arms straight as you extend overhead and you hold your hips in that tilted position, squeezing through your core as well as your glutes. That's really focusing a lot on the anti-extension component of the core, and I'd probably say that'd be my go-to.
I actually do enjoy doing that exercise too, not just prescribing it. So take a little of our own medicine, right?
Yeah.
Well, any other suggestions you guys have for people with TRXs, right? Or any type of suspension strap?
Yeah, well, I think like I said in the beginning, it's a good tool to have. I don't think it should like replace the main things we're trying to accomplish or the main movements, and loading up it when we have the access to more load. It's that should be the main thing we're focused on in those compound movements. But the TRX offers a lot of fun and challenging things we can add to those main movements.
For sure.
Yeah, I think when somebody thinks about like doing a TRX exercise, I think instantly they think about doing the rows right away, and they think, well, that's all I'm limited to. But I think we just hammered off like 10 different exercises that you can do. So when it comes to working out at home, think about what you have available for equipment. Once again, getting a little bit innovative and getting a little bit creative is kind of what you're going to need to do. And you can get very innovative and very creative when it comes to TRX training.
For sure. Yeah, it almost works out your creativity as much as it does your muscles sometimes. So, which can be a good break from things, right? Awesome. Well, any other suggestions from either of y'all? Or I think we hit most of everything we wanted to. So what I would say is if you enjoyed this video, like I said earlier, we have a huge exercise library that's getting updated daily. Hopefully it'll get above 50% here anytime soon, right? We're constantly putting exercise demos up there. So if you have questions, feel free to look at those. If you have further questions, feel free to visit our website. You can set up a call to talk with any of us about how we can help you out with either our live stream workouts, which are going great, or you can even talk about some of our more custom programs where one of our coaches will help you figure out, hey, this is the exact equipment I have. This is where you're at in your kind of golf physical metrics. And here's how we can get you, above and beyond what you might even believe you could ever get to. So hopefully there's some links down below to our website, parforsuccess.com. You can schedule anything you want there. Plenty of other stuff on YouTube. I think that's all we got for today, though. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining.